You're watching your local television network, TSPN, and now back to Today's Seniors Living Well with your host, Lori Webb.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Today's Seniors Living Well. Thanks for joining us on the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. And we have four lovely guests who've also given some time today to come and give us some good information. We just talked to our friend Gwen Christensen about planning and involving your family. Many of you are going to have your family here. And my second guest is someone who's also been here before, but we can't really have her on often enough because we have a very wonderful service in Amador County, Lifeline. Amador Lifeline.
Yes.
And there's a lot of pretenders out there, aren't there?
There are a lot of pretenders.
So what's going on with the, I mean, I know I had one guy call me Monday and tell me that he'd gotten these 3 calls and he just hung up on them because he knew that they weren't you guys.
Right. We're having a lot of this going on in the last couple of months, but Amador Lifeline, which is a program of ADCA, Amador Tuolumne Community Action Agency, we provide a medical alert system where a person wears a button around their neck or their wrist, and help is just a button away is our slogan. And so what it does is it allows people to stay at home, living independently, safely, securely, while they're wearing this button. And so what's happened is that our company, our parent company, is Philips Lifeline. Philips was the creator of this whole industry over 40 years ago. Amador Lifeline has actually been in Amador County for over 32 years. So we have a lot of history behind us, and as Philips Lifeline has grown and the technology has changed, all these other companies started seeing, aha, this is something to make a profit on. So they started to piggyback on what Philips Lifeline has created and all the research that's been done. So now what we're having in this economy is a lot of companies who have now been able to start up a semblance of what our program is and offer it much more cheaply. And so now Medic Alert, which is one of the companies, is making a lot of multiple scam calls to our county. I've had volunteers who've also received 4 calls right in a row. It's really crazy, but all across the country. And what they're doing is they're saying, oh, because you've been such a wonderful person, your relatives and friends have gifted this to you, it won't cost you any money. Press 1 to receive this. And when you do, then obviously they're going to be asking for your Visa information, your credit card information.
Even though your family is paying for it, they still need your Visa.
Right,
Yeah.
for some reason. And so, first of all, what we really want to emphasize, and I have been with my clients, and that is never ever give out personal information over the telephone line. Particularly unless you know who you really are talking to.
Yeah, if you made the call and you know you're talking to HICAP or your doctor's office or whatever.
Right. Or you've called Amador Lifeline.
Or Lifeline.
And you're talking to me.
Right.
But, so that's kind of been going on. And one of the things that it's obvious that in our industry and with the economy, there's a lot of competition. And Philips Lifeline has itself had to make a change to be able to be more competitive. And I will say that they are offering to new clients a new price feature to be able to be competitive with these other companies. What we have done with Amador Lifeline is we are staying true to what we were created upon 32 years ago, and that is service. And I try to tell that to our clients or potential clients calling in. We're talking apples and oranges. Yes, you can get a unit sent to you in a box, you self-install, or get one of your kids or a neighbor or somebody to come and install this for you.
Your 11-year-old grandchild.
Right, right. And then whenever you need a new neck cord or a new battery or some kind of maintenance, you're going to be calling an 800 number, and it's not in this county, it's off somewhere else in another location, probably another state. What we do is we do everything for the person. So when we install someone, we send one of our own community members, a local person that maybe some of these people might even know.
Often they do.
They do. And they go into the home and they install the equipment to one of their telephone lines, although we have new equipment coming that's not going to need that.
Really? Wow.
And then from then on, we maintain everything. So we will, and I've had someone who leaned over sewing and she accidentally cut her neck cord.
Oops.
Oops is right. So what we did is we sent one of our volunteer installers to go take her new neck cord. I get the reports about battery exchanges. I call them and say I'm sending, Phil or Rich or Tom to your home. They make an appointment with them. We do all of this. There's no other company that can offer what we call service.
Right.
So we are really very, very different.
You're very right. It's very much apples to oranges. And I think even though I've been involved with Lifeline for the 27 years I've been at the Senior Center, I never really thought of that in that perspective. I mean, I know our Lifeline got a gold premium award one year for being such excellent.
Award of excellence,
yeah,
right,
exactly,
for the West Coast. And I think we've gotten that actually twice.
And yet, even though we're a relatively small, how many clients now?
We have around 230.
Around 200?
It fluctuates all the time, of course.
Sure. The program still has all the bells and whistles of all the new technology that's coming up. I mean, there's some pretty fantastic things that
The technology that Philips has created is absolutely mind-boggling.
And it's available here in Amador County.
Absolutely. And we're going to be the ones who are maintaining it.
Right.
And in addition to all of that we do is I have a fabulous group of ladies who we call checkers. They give a monthly courtesy call just to check to see how the person is. Some folks like to chit-chat and they develop relationships. Others just say, I'm fine. But they always remind them also to test their help button, which we do once a month.
Once a month.
To make sure that there's a clear signal.
Right.
We have a volunteer who does nothing but send out greeting cards, birthday cards, get well cards, cheer cards. If I know someone's gone into
In
the
the real
hospital,
mail, so they get
that's
an
right, in
envelope
the
to
snail
open?
mail. That's right.
That's fabulous.
But if I know someone's going to go have knee surgery or hip surgery, because our county is small, but we're very personalized, and we stay in touch with our people. This is not we'll send you a unit. And I can do that with the other program that Philips is offering people for a little bit less money, but we think that for $10 more a month, that it's worth it to have
that person.
Don't have any worries about what you have to do or having to call an 800 number.
Right.
We're going to do it for you.
And you know that a local vetted person is going to be the one showing up
Correct.
in your house to do whatever needs to be
Correct.
done. Now, if someone's interested in having Lifeline, you have folks that come out and just talk about the program without them having to commit to signing up, right?
Sure. And they can call me on the phone and I will explain all of the details to them. They're welcome to come to the office and look at the equipment. We have 2 different buttons that we're offering right now, and we're going to be having new technology coming up with a new year that's going to be where somebody can travel all around the community or outside of it and be covered.
Wow.
Right now, this is being covered within your home. And which is really, that's where the
Yeah.
typical place that someone's going to fall and not have anyone to help them.
Right.
We kind of think that if you're out in the Kmart or a parking lot that hopefully somebody's going to help assist you if you happen to fall or something, but it's really in the home where people are living alone. And that's where we have so many folks who are very isolated in this community.
Right.
Live way out in the acreage and don't maybe see a whole lot of people, visitors coming through.
Now, a lot of folks don't have hard landlines anymore. They're just doing the cell phone thing. Is that new technology going to...
That's new technology. Lifeline has something now called Home Safe. And that is it looks totally different from this. We haven't gotten our units in yet. They're still finishing the final production. And that's going to allow people to not have to have a landline. Although with some of our folks, we do recommend that there are some discounted phone services. So, we can do that. But anyway, that technology, and I'm hopefully I'll come back next year in the first part, and we'll talk about the new.
I'm sure Virginia's going to talk me into doing this again. I just have that feeling.
You bet. 2 different buttons I just wanted to mention. This is our standard button that we've had for many, many years, and this is the one that if you need help, you need to press it. This is the button that came out about 3 years ago, and it's called Auto Alert. And what this one does is it has computerized sensors built inside of it, so that if a person were to fall on the ground and not get up within 30 seconds, and they've done research that Philips knows that's typical time, this will then automatically send a signal directly to their phone, to the response center to get help. And I can tell you that I know that this works. My own mother, she's 93, watching the program this morning, but she lives with me in Pine Grove. And what she did about 2 months ago is she fell in the living room and didn't push her button. We're not sure if she fainted or what, but anyway, the auto alert did just what it was supposed to do. It sent a signal, and it got my sister-in-law and the fire department there within minutes.
Great.
And so Mom was assisted back up. She's a very small woman, but it's good to have two of our wonderful fire department. Our emergency services in this county are fabulous.
And they didn't send, 10 engines and the ambulance.
Well, I'm not sure how many they said.
Okay,
I was at work down at Lifeline, but I know that there were several that came in, but she said she had just fabulous service from them.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's a good...
And I think most of our folks who end up having emergency services within the community have had a good response. The other thing that I might add is that we do have a special program. It's called the Amador Community Foundation. It goes by ACF in our office, limited income program. And it is for people who may not have the funds to be able to support the monthly cost for Lifeline. And if they qualify with a certain amount of income, and they can call me at the office to discuss this, then they might be able to get the program for half the price or even less than that.
Wow, that's fabulous.
And this was created several years ago by two very generous donors in our community, with the addition of some others who have joined together and been wonderful to create this program. So we have
That's great.
25 individuals that we can provide this service to.
That's wonderful.
And just
that's
call
on
me.
top of the frequent specials that you guys have. Like, I remember Mother's Day, there was free installation. And
We did it for October, and we're doing it as well for December.
Okay.
So for everyone who's watching today, anyone who decides to join in the month of December, it will be free installation. That's a $50 savings.
And how do they get a hold of you quickly?
Call me at 223-1485, extension 232.
And that will be your direct line.
And we will be closed over the Thanksgiving holiday, but we'll be up and running
On
Monday
Monday.
morning at 10 o'clock.
Wonderful. Thanks for coming in again
You're
with all
welcome.
the good
Thanks so
news.
much for having me.
Stay tuned. We'll be back after the break.
You're watching Amador County's local television network, TSPN.